Hey there, hi there, ho there, where there, here there, on your daily can of worms with your host, April's Jamie. Hey, got some questions for you guys. Maybe you got some answers. Maybe you got some opinions. Like, share, and subscribe to the normies, like me. Let's go. So, quick thing, off the bat. I, myself, donated myself to be a guinea pig for science a few years ago when they asked me, hey, do you want to be a part of this research program? All we're going to do is give you a possible vaccine or a possible normal saline shot in your arm. And then we're going to track your blood work for up to a year. And we're going to pay you this amount of money if you come and do this. And every time you come in to do something, you get this. And every time you do blood work, you get that. It wasn't a lot of money. It was a few $100s. At the time, I didn't even need that money. But I thought, when I was in nursing school, we were taught for the greater good, right? Science is lovely. Biology is lovely. If we can give people organs and things and stop diseases, let's do it. That's what we signed up for. So anyway, now, fast forward to now, I got a lot of questions. Why were they anticipating this pandemic then? And then why in 2019 did they have a pandemic drill in New York City literally a few months before the pandemic arrived? Crazy, right? You got questions? I bet you do. Put them in the comments. What's your questions? Did anyone live in the city at the time? Did you actually go to those hospitals and see them overwhelmed, overflowing with people? Probably in a few hospitals because they're already busy, and then you throw a pandemic on top of it, and now it's extraordinarily busy. So now people are going to be waiting for days in the waiting room to be seen just because there's no more room. There's no more room to put anybody. So, if any nurses out there have some sketchball things they want to share, put it down. Because I was doing it on Facebook and I was unpublished. Facebook unpublished my account finally after a lot of, you're going against community standards. All of a sudden, you can't tell jokes. All of a sudden, you can't have discourse. All of a sudden, you can't have an opinion. If your opinion doesn't match the government's opinion, then you'll Quaitins for you, son. Quaitins. So anyway, let's get back. Let's not get off track. So, okay. Now, instead of it being the bird flu pandemic that they thought when I was going through the research thing, it's COVID. And it came from a bat. In a wet market. In China. In Wuhan. I'm not buying that for $1. I'm not buying that for $1. So, what are your thoughts about that? Put them in the thing. However, before this all went down, I had a lot of questions because, A, I signed up to be the guinea pig for this, but it's not the right disease or virus or whatever you want to call it. And then, C, they had a drill down there in New York City right before the pandemic. And then also, there was a professor at Harvard that was arrested and indicted for selling little vial samples to Wuhan with his 2 Chinese assistants, selling them for 50 grand a pop. Did you guys know about that? I knew about that. I didn't put 2 and 2 together for a while, but then now I have a whole bunch of 2s and 2s together. Oh wait, never mind, that's racist. You can't say 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? Whatever. Moving on. So, anyway, I got questions. Anyone that lived in New York City during the time of the height of the pandemic, what did you experience or witness? Especially, I'm curious to know for those hospital workers that were in the hospitals during this time. Because I, in the emergency room, sat in an empty emergency room for a good 3 to 4 months, twiddling our thumbs, because the news told everybody to stay home. And I'm talking about, we didn't even get our regular sick people that always come in sick with chest pains and heart attacks and stuff. Didn't get them. I don't know what happened to them. Why weren't they coming in? They were sick, I'm sure. But the news had everybody frightened with the death toll tracker. No tests were available. 0. But there's a death toll tracker. And every day they would add new symptoms to the list. And us with common sense, or us that took biology, were like, yeah, they're putting down all the symptoms of every possible disease process known to man. And then counting it as COVID. Because there was no tests at the time. None. 0. And we were told to send people home. If they presented to the ER with COVID, we were to tell them to go get some this and that's from your drugstore, drink lots of fluid, stay home, isolate yourself, and follow up with your doctor as needed. Or if your symptoms became worse and you really couldn't breathe, then return to the ER. So again, questions. I have lots of questions that have not been answered. Still, to this day. And will they ever? Probably not. We're probably never going to get our answers, people. However, the CDC guidelines came out. I had lots of questions for that. Lots of questions, but no answers. So, moving on from that, let's get into other things, like the war. The war that's going down in Ukraine. What are your thoughts? Do you have questions? Do you want to know where all of our money's going? Do you want to know why we're doing the America Last? Do you? Do you want to know why we're doing America Last? I have questions about that. I want to know why America's last. Because we got Americans out there freezing, starving, living off credit cards, zooming those credit card debts way up. They weren't using them, trying to get their credit scores good, got their credit score good, and now they're in trouble because they're relying on spending that credit card, making the minimum payments so they're not totally destitute. But Joe Biden don't care. This administration don't care. Karine Jean-Pierre definitely doesn't care. And that woman has not answered a question, not at all, since being put and placed in that position. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, share me. I'm just a normie trying to have conversation with other Americans across this nation and across the world even. I want to talk to people across the world, but I don't know if I'll ever get that big. But my goal is to just keep us communicating, educating each other, sharing ideas and opinions, encouraging each other to get off mainstream media, do a little research for ourselves, and then develop an opinion or a thought or a belief system. But don't just believe because some administration higher up government official told you so. Because I'm a normie and I've been able to say, I told you so a lot. And I mean a lot. Because, back, in the day, there was all these conspiracy theorists. And they weren't telling the truth. It was mis and dis and all kinds of mis and disinformation. According to who? Who gets to decide what is mis and disinformation? You could present facts, black and white, right here, plain as day. And still be told, nope, you're getting a strike. You're getting your page taken down because you're spreading lies and misinformation and disinformation. And it's scary. No, it's not scary for Americans or even any human beings across the world to communicate. That's what we need to be doing. That's what science is about. Yes, it's not one man's opinion. It's not about an agenda. Never used to be anyway, but now it's turning that way. And what about all the people that paid for college to get these degrees that are science, all science? And now we're told that everything we learned and paid for out of our own pockets, most of us, that you can't believe that. You can't believe what you learned, black and white facts. No. No, silly. No. It's all about fluid science that we make up as we go. Yeah, no, I don't buy that for $1. I don't even buy that for a penny. So, anyway, now let's talk about this. Putin, he hasn't been able to speak. Or, I mean, well, he's probably been speaking a lot, but we haven't been able to hear him. What about you people? If this ever gets to Europe, why don't you people tell me, did you get to watch Putin speaking on TV ever in the news? And if so, what did he say? And if not, don't you wonder why? Don't you want to hear Putin's side of the story? Because there's two sides to every story. I don't give a cheap bleep what it is. There's always two sides to a story. And it would be nice to be able to hear both sides of the story. Not just one little man demanding more. I want this, and this on my Christmas list. And if I don't get them, then I'm going to stop and cry. Whoa. Nice flip there. I'm going to stomp and cry. And I'm going to demand it from Biden. And if I don't get it, the whole world's going to know that the U.S. turned their back on Ukraine. Well, Zelenskyy, let me tell ya, Joe Biden turned his back on his own country, on us Americans, right now. He has disaster after disaster after disaster after disaster and crises. Like, does this guy have the worst luck ever? Is there a black cloud following him around? Or is it intentional? I don't know. What do you think? I have my opinions. I'm sure you have yours. Drop them down below. And I'm also going to say this. We're being censored and silenced. Regular, normal people with no authority. And we're not even government officials or anything. We're just random normies of the world and of America. And our pages are getting taken down. And suspended accounts. And inability to speak to anybody or communicate through Messenger and on your page or comment, like, share, anything. Why? Don't you want to know why? Why? Why are normies being silenced? It's crazy to me. That's my opinion. It's crazy. And I know why. I definitely know why. But, you know, it hasn't been approved for me to say these things yet. So that just leaves us up to opinions. Drop yours down in the comments. Like and share my videos so we can get more people talking about more things. But anyway, back to Putin. I want to know Putin's side of the story. I want to know what he says about the civilian bombed buildings. Because I've seen some things that I had questions about. And particularly, there was one where they were doing CPR on a child. And as an ER nurse, I found a lot of things wrong with that video. And I had a lot of questions. But it went against the guidelines of the mis and disinformation boards, right? Right? Yeah. Okay. However, I want you guys to start paying attention. Pay attention. Don't keep living in a bubble and being like, oh, well, there's nothing we can do to change it. We're just going to have to go on. Stop stressing about it. You're going to make yourself sick just stressing about it. My thing is with that is, I want to know. I want to be a step ahead, if possible. Or at least in sync. Like, I got my chickens a year and a half ago. because I knew off of social media, those chicken plants were burning. Random planes crashing into a chicken farm doesn't even sound good. Like, they do the most corniest things and say the most corniest things, believing that the average person will believe them. And I'm sorry, but they're mistaking us for idiots. No, anyone with common sense would know this is on purpose. And now, since I got my girls and they lay eggs and I get beautiful eggs all the time, why is that? There's an egg shortage and bird flu. When my girls are free range, I don't have an issue. They lay every day, not one issue. I did have a little time frame there where they were very thin shells and they were breaking the minute I would try to wash them or anything. But I started saving my shells that I ate from their eggs and grinding them and put them in their food, and now I don't have an issue. And I was buying the Tractor Supply stuff, so I have no idea. I love them, I scratch them, I talk to them. Maybe that Dr. Doolittle shit helps with birds to lay eggs. I don't know. However, I got questions, and I'm sure you do too. I'm sure you got opinions. I'm sure you got thoughts. Let's share them. Let's share them. Let's take this around the globe. The Daily Can of Worms. It's named that because it's not something people like to talk about or be confronted about or be honest about, or they're scared. They're scared of their own government to share conversation and discord, opinions, and thoughts. How odd is that? It's so strange. I never in a million years would have thought the American society would not be allowed to speak their thoughts and opinions. And now everything is like they want to criminally charge you for hurting somebody's feelings when you speak. Like, no. No, that's the corniest thing I've ever heard. It's corny. Everybody needs to wake up, grow up, and have conversation. And stop trying to change the English language. They're erasing it. They're erasing everything. History, they're erasing it. Cursive, they're not teaching it. They don't want those kids reading documents from a long time ago when our country was founded based off of values and beliefs. No, we gotta erase that. Nobody can know. It's crazy. Drop your comments, like and share me. I'm gonna wrap it up because I kind of went on a ramble about like everything and nothing at the same time. But I did drop another video of me doing my dishes today that I think you'll like. And I'm going to start dropping videos of just random stuff like recipes to follow. Like I'll give you some good recipes. I think I'm a good cook. And then I'll give you tips on just random things like games and stuff that you can play with your kids. Like I played a couple good pandemic games. I thought about getting them patented, but we'll see. I make hats. I make these beanies. I don't know how to crochet. So tell me what you think about my hats in the comments. Most of my hats, 99% of them that I wear on my channel are mine that I did. But no two hats are the same because I don't know how to crochet. Yes, I said I don't know how to crochet. But when I have stress and anxiety and I can't sleep and I have insomnia, I start making a hat. And I just unwind it and keep going. Sometimes it comes out like a flat pancake. Sometimes it comes out like a cone. I just gotta undo them and keep going. But they do make YouTube's videos out there, but like with my ADD, I just have a hard time focusing and reading, and I bought the book and I have a hard time focusing and listening and trying to see the stitches and understand the language. It's really hard for me. So I just did it. Kept practicing, unwind it, practice, unwind it, and I get these hats. No two hats the same. They're like snowflakes. But catch my drift. So if you like a hat of mine, let me know. That would be great. Like, let's lift each other up on my channel. Let's communicate. Let's not let them get to us to where we can't have any communication, because communication is key. And everything that we're about to witness here in the upcoming months, it's going to be important that we stay communicating, sharing ideas, sharing skill sets, sharing food, barter, do a barter system with your neighbors. One supply eggs, one supply produce, one supply milk. This is what it boils down to. We need to be prepared to barter, share, build a community if we have to. Everybody chip in. You know, it could come to that. It could come to that. We're looking at some scary times, America, and all over the world, really. So let's share our thoughts and ideas. You tell me why you think we're not allowed to hear anything that Putin says. And I'll try to get back to you with mine. So you guys have a good day. Have a good morning. And I dropped one of my videos, or well, I'm going to drop it. I'm lying. I'm going to drop my video from earlier today where it shows that I'm wearing camo with Christmas pants and it's 100% okay. And I played a game while I washed my dishes to make it fun. So, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let's stay talking, normies. Let's stay talking, okay? This has been your Daily Can of Worms with your host, After Reals Jamie. Peace out. Phew.